didn't reinvent its clamshell style foldable, but the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 looks ready to hold on to its value foldable crown. Samsung's mid-year Unpacked event delivered everything we expected, with some new Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, a new duo of smart watches across the Galaxy Watch 5 and Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, and a pair of foldables in the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Galaxy Z Flip 4. The new foldable keeps the signature clamshell design and comes with an improved display, dual cameras, and a flagship chipset. The screen's diagonal is 6.7 inch, which is the same as the predecessor, but that's where the similarities end. The new OLED panel has a better hinge that bends in a pear shape to close completely when folded. It supports HDR10 Plus and comes with 144Hz refresh rate. Also, Motorola dropped the weird notch with the panel tucking underneath and introduced a punch hole design for the 32-megapixel front-facing camera. Now, we don't want to call it a selfie shooter, as selfies will likely be taken with the dual camera on the back, in combination with the external 2.7-inch OLED screen that apparently remains unchanged. The main camera has a 50-megapixel sensor and OIS identical to what is used on the H30 Pro and S30 Pro. The secondary camera is a 13-megapixel ultra-wide-angle shooter with 121 degrees field of view. The previous two Moto Razr phones had Snapdragon 7 series chipsets, but finally the Moto Razr 2022 comes with a flagship Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Other specs include support for RAW shooting, MyUI 4.0 interface that redesigned some apps to work on the outer screen as well, dual speakers with Dolby Atmos support, and proper DC dimming. Samsung has definitely expanded the cover display functionality too, with theme matching when setting Galaxy themes on the main display and a host of new and improved widgets like a Smart Things, Smart Home Control Panel, Samsung Wallet Access, expanded quick replies, plus more general quick settings. Flex mode makes a return to, letting you position the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4's sturdy feeling hinge at multiple angles through its full range of motion in order to gain access to a number of split screen experiences. The company has built on existing offerings like YouTube and Google Duo, with apps like Meta Messaging coming out of testing to receive dedicated flex mode support, while features like multi-window have been better optimized for flex mode with a simple gesture from the bottom of the screen to get going. Beyond these additions and updates, which capitalize on the Flip 4's unique hardware configuration, you can expect a more familiar One UI software experience underpinned by Android 12. Samsung's Galaxy Store lives alongside the Google Play Store. Samsung Wallet exists in conjunction with Google Pay, and although the same native Android 12 features persist, they play second fiddle to Samsung's specific implementation when it comes to UI layout and customization. In addition to a weak chip, another chink in the Motorola Razr's armor has been the camera output. Motorola has remained loyal to a single rear camera formula for all its foldable phones so far, and even though the 48 megapixel on the Razr 5G delivered solid results, it was just not enough for the original asking price of nearly $1,400, both in terms of raw quality and lens versatility. Thankfully, Motorola is making positive strides in the department as well. The Razr 2022 has a 50 megapixel primary camera with OIS. It supports 4:1 pixel binding, so you can expect to get 12.5 megapixel images. The main camera is accompanied by a 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera with a 121-degree field of view and support for macro shooting. On the front, you get a 32 megapixel selfie sensor. The overall camera setup might not be as powerful as the main snapper, but if phones like iPhone 13, Galaxy S22 and Pixel 6 are anything to go by, those are enough pixels to deliver some impressive photos. You will find 3 cameras on Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, which at first blush look very familiar to those on the Z Flip 3. The foldable display sports a centrally positioned 10 megapixel punch-hole snapper, while the 2 sensors next to the cover display on the back are comprised of an OIS supported main 12 megapixel sensor and 12 megapixel ultra-wide. Our initial hands-on time with the Z Flip 4 didn't unearth any groundbreaking real-world improvements to picture quality, but we couldn't exactly stroll out the door of the company's press preview with a pre-release device in hand to put it to the test. We'll have a better idea come the full review. So, Samsung promises brighter stills and videos from the main snapper thanks to larger pixels on the 12 megapixel primary sensor, while the rest of the camera hardware appears unchanged. Both YS and VDIS have been improved, with the latter being particularly handy in light of the new flex cam feature designed to properly orient the UI when holding the phone like a 90s camcorder, whilst the hinge is folded to a 90-degree position. The cover display experience has been expanded, meaning you can just jump through aspect ratios, grab quick shots including portraits, photos, and start shooting video on the cover display while unfolding and switching to the main display without interrupting recording. Battery life is often struggle for folding for smartphones, and this has been especially true for previous razr foldables. Thankfully, the razr 2022 is making some progress to address this. Prior to the phone's full announcement, Motorola confirmed that the razr 2022 would have a 3500 mAh battery capacity. While that's relatively small compared to non-folding phones, the small size of flipping smartphones means that batteries have always been smaller than the average. In addition, this is larger than the 3300 mAh battery in the Z Flip 3, but the Z Flip 4 is got 3700 mAh battery, and the 2800 battery used in razr 5G combined with the improved power efficiency of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, the razr 2022 should be better in this department.